Hello, I'm Luke Hatfield. You join me and Wolves correspondent Joe Edwards. Joe, you've just got back from Molyneux. Where do you start there? Wolves 0, Aston Villa 1. That's not the result many Wolves fans will enjoy seeing, is it?
No, not at all, and especially in the manner of it. It's very disappointing, and it's it's a case of missed chances and silly defending at the end. It's just completely needless there from Nelson Semedo conceding that penalty. I know John McGinn's a dangerous player, but he's on his weaker foot in that position, and the challenge just doesn't need to be made last minute. And Villa, to be fair to them, stuck at it, especially after the sending off of Douglas Luiz, and El Ghazi coolly sticks the penalty away. But that is such a helping hand from Wolves, and again the theme continues of goals not coming. I mean, Wolves did knock on the door, they did create chances, and kind of found a very informed Emiliano Martinez in their way. But simply put, it's just got to improve in front of goal. They've got to find a solution quick. And if they're down, seeing these coming weeks, because it's not getting any easier, then they'll probably have to have a look at it in January. I know it's a limited market, but they've got to find goals from somewhere. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, very unlike Wolves. I mean, Nuno, his team selection was an interesting one.
Yeah.
I mean, Willy Bolly was dropped. You've still gone 4 at the back, Wolves. There were question marks over and defensively against Liverpool. They seemed fine against Villa. I mean, Villa, they didn't really lay too much of a glove on Wolves. I mean, both sides, I mean, for a neutral, I don't think it was a great game to watch. I know you thought differently at the ground. But it was just, as you said, the same old problems for Wolves, wasn't it? Without Raul Jimenez, they just look like they can't find a way to stick the ball in the back of the net. It was only really, I mean, as you said, a couple of really good saves from Martinez. But other than a couple, a lot of them were ones you'd expect him to probably make.
Yeah, it's not as if they're performing absolutely dreadfully. I mean, I think everybody can agree that this isn't Wolves at their free throwing best at all, and they've got so much more to give. But they're not, being turned over by teams in any respect. But they just haven't got that same bit of magic without Jimenez in the team. Dendoncker hasn't really done a lot wrong with his shot, and Silva's just kissed the inside of the post, and an inch the other way, and that's nestling in the bottom corner. But it's those fine margins at the minute, and Wolves are not on it. They're not on it in front of goal, and something needs to change and change quickly, because it's a tough December. It doesn't get any easier. They've got Chelsea to come on Tuesday night, and points are going to be hard to come by, and 2 losses so far. Wolves fans need to pick me up.
Yeah, they definitely do. Someone else who needs a little bit of a pick-me-up is Semedo. I mean, he's had a bit of an inconsistent start to his Wolves career, it's fair to say. He's had a mare with that challenge, hasn't he? I mean, when Villa go down to 10, you think all of a sudden it's going to be Wolves knocking on the door. If anything, it kind of flipped the script a little bit. And then it was a nice little touch from McGinn to get past him, but he's beaten too easily there for me. And then the challenge is just a silly one.
It's completely and utterly needless. It really is. And Semedo, I mean, is flattered to deceive, really. So far in a Wolves shirt, he's yet to shine since coming in from Barcelona. I don't think on the whole he was too bad. I think there was a few occasions in the first half where Grealish got past him too easily. Tightened up a fair bit in the second half, but that penalty giveaway just sums him up so far in a Wolves shirt. Just a reckless moment, a moment of kind of switching off, and a moment of madness. And it's costly, for a team that has been so defensively sound over the past few years. Semedo has come in and hasn't really offered a fantastic amount going forward, and he looks suspect defensively. He's got to brush up, and while it wasn't probably his worst 90 minutes that you've seen from him in a Wolves shirt. I mean, that penalty giveaway is just ever so costly, and as I say, utterly needless.
Yeah, and then of course the day was kind of capped off. It kind of summed up Wolves' afternoon, really, when Moutinho sees red. I think a lot of people watching the game on TV wouldn't have enjoyed the way Mike Dean officiated. There was yellow cards left, right, and centre. A lot of them were fouls.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's a derby. Do you have to kind of let it flow a little bit? I mean, Moutinho, I think, can be a little bit hard done by with that sending off.
Yeah, 11 yellows, 2 reds. He didn't scream out a game like that to me. Of course, there was a bit of added needle because it's a derby and both teams are up for it, as you'd fully expect. But it weren't as if there were kind of vicious challenges flying in left, right, and centre. I think Villa will feel a bit hard done by with Louise. Of course, he'll miss out for them, but and then Moutinho for Wolves. But Moutinho sending off. I mean, yeah, it's not. It's fair. You might look at it as fairly soft, but you know, a player of his experience. I mean, he's acting out of frustration, but he's just got to resist doing that because he's made a bad afternoon for Wolves, really, even worse with his sending off. So it's disappointing all round. And as I say, it doesn't get any easier coming up with Chelsea, but you've got to think something has to give. They've got to perform better. There's so much to work on in the training ground. They've got to find a clinical edge from somewhere. A player has got to step up and really be counted upon. And these silly moments at the back need to be eradicated as well.
Yeah, definitely. And let's remember there are positives to take because, I mean, ultimately, if any team was going to win that, I think it was going to be Wolves. I think a draw might have been fair, but if anyone deserved to edge it, it was certainly Wolves with the chances they created. Another day, I mean, like you said, Dendoncker scores, Fabio Silva maybe scores, and then the penalty down the other end doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, it's a case of fine margins, but again, if you don't take your chances and you have that tendency to kind of switch off for a split second at the back, then you're always going to be in danger. Wolves, again, they could have easily won this game, but they've kind of, you know, you can only really point the finger at Wolves, you know, as to why they've not done it. It's there's no real extenuating circumstances. They're just not putting the ball in the net, and they're not defending as effectively as they should. You know, I didn't think everyone was bad. I thought Pedence had a good game. I thought Neto was bright again. I thought Pedence was probably the pick of the bunch, really, in a Wolves shirt, and there was some decent performances out there, but equally. This isn't Wolves and where you want them to be. Two straight losses so far in December, and it's there's plenty to work on, plenty for Nuno to kind of drum into this side, and you just hope that in the coming weeks they'll find a route to goal, and as I say, if they don't, then the January window is worth a serious look. Yeah, so improvements to be made for Wolves. You know where to go for all the post-match reaction. ExpressandStar.com.